Okay.
Hello, beautiful people. You're welcome back to my channel. Hope you are doing good. Today, I have again one of our sisters here. So I'm gonna ask her what we normally ask our viewers our guests on this show, and she's gonna give us her own view on how she sees things here in Australia and in Europe. So let's get it started. Hello, sis. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Caroline.
Caroline.
Yeah.
That's good. And you're from where?
I'm half Mozambique and half Swazi, but we're in South Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You have Mozambican?
My father is Mozambican, my mother.
Your father is Mozambican?
Yeah.
And your mom is from where?
Swaziland.
From Swaziland?
Yeah.
Wow. We have a
She's
nice
originally
clash.
South African though, but like she was just raised in Swaziland and carried on living there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's good. So what do you do in Australia?
I came in Austria as a model, but of course I am planning on staying a bit longer and just to start a life here because it seems very stable.
Cool. You came as a model?
Yeah, I came in.
Wow, that is cool. That's wonderful. And how many years have you spent in Australia now?
Now I'm a baby. I'm like 6 months old.
6 months? Oh gosh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. And your modeling career,
Yeah.
you still pursuing it here as you just came.
Yeah, I am, but realistically speaking, because I'm not gonna lie to myself or lie to anybody, Austria is a very quiet country.
Okay.
You know, for somebody to say, oh, they're living wherever they are, to say they want to be a model in Austria. It's very slow. As much as I came in as a model, it is also to pursue an actual life.
Okay.
You know, but the modeling was rather the first step that I took.
Okay, wonderful. That's great. And have you gotten yourself into, have you gotten any connection or do you have any institution or anywhere you are, like say a studio or a manager or whoever you think you can, you're going to work with?
I already have an agency.
Okay,
I've
good.
been with them for like since last year. Sorry, sorry. I've been here since. I've been with my agency since last year.
Okay.
But because I had come in mainly just as a visitor,
Okay.
and then got to meet my agency, and then of course I was looking for opportunities as well. And I managed to get this modeling agency and stuff. And we officially came here in
Wow.
end of November, so it's beginning of November, like 28th, I think.
Okay. That's good. That's good. And are you studying German?
Smart.
Or do you speak it?
Absolutely not.
No.
I
Okay.
don't. But I am working on, learning because it doesn't make sense me being here and not speaking the language. It
Okay.
only makes sense that I do. It's something that I'm already looking into actually.
Oh, that's fine. That's wonderful. That's cool. And have you, in these 6 months you've been in Austria, how do you find life? Yeah, how is life treating you in Austria?
What do I say? Where do I start? First of all,
Yes.
as an African,
Okay.
you can relate to this.
Okay.
I made a huge mistake of coming here in the winter. Let's start there.
Okay.
I came here right at the peak of winter.
Okay.
And I received the shock of my life with the
Wow.
amount of cold that I experienced.
Okay.
And the unfortunate side of it was that during the winter, there isn't much work.
Okay, yeah.
So the modeling
Industry.
industry and stuff. And I came in during a time where most people are with family, people are not working as much. So I basically just came in and it was more like holiday and just waiting for things to start kicking in and all of that. But I can say that things have really picked up, but it can never compare to your Paris and your London and New York and all of that. It's very slow, but it has picked up for Vienna.
Okay. That's good. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have faith, you have hope that as you proceed, that things is gonna turn around and Since we,
Absolutely, and I mean, it's like even my thinking is not mainly just modeling. Like you grow, you start with one thing and you grow into other things.
Sure.
I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm a grown
Sure,
woman.
exactly.
So I'm also just trying to do something real with my life.
That is
But of
wonderful.
course, because the modeling is what could bring me here legally, because we're trying to be legal.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I started.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are you married?
Single as it comes.
Okay, you're still single.
Very single.
You have a boyfriend?
No.
You don't have a boyfriend right now? Okay. And let's say now you're a single lady, and if you want to have a boyfriend, will it be a white or a black man?
I think that's a very tricky question. That's a very tricky question. Let's start there.
Okay.
And it's a very huge discussion.
Okay.
This is a whole new discussion that you're starting right now.
Yeah, of course. That is what this program's all about. You know, we
Yeah.
like to get people's view on
Yeah.
everything about life. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak on my personal life experience, not just in Austria, in all of this, but in
Okay.
general.
Super.
As a skinny, tall black woman.
Pretty woman.
Well, thank
Pretty
you.
black woman. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Growing up,
Yeah.
even just like being in South Africa and also being in Swaziland, being in Mozambique, I noticed that my type of girl doesn't necessarily get attention from our fellow black men.
Wow.
And then being in South Africa where there was no white people, that's when I got more attention, mainly from white guys. So I
Okay.
can say that in my life experience, I've rather dated more white men than black men.
Okay.
But I'm not the kind of black woman who says black men are trash. Black men are not trash. Why? Because my father's black, my brothers that are black. I've also dated black men. Actually,
Sure.
my ex-boyfriend is a whole black man.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
cool. Okay.
You know, like I love it. I love it so much. It was a whole Zulu man. I just loved the dominance of it. It was amazing. So I'm not gonna be here and say black men are trash. Black men are not trash.
Okay.
Black men are amazing.
Cool.
It really just depends on the kind of men that you're into, and if you have access to that kind of caliber,
Yes.
then great. Then you're gonna experience the best of a black man, in my opinion. I don't think white means quality. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, there's white men that are the lowest or cheapest form you can ever find, and you'll be shocked that growing up they used to tell us that white men or white people are better. Is this it?
You're right.
You
You're
know?
right. Yeah.
So no, I don't date color. I date a man.
Yeah, based on his character.
Exactly. I don't date. I don't
Okay.
date
And if you
color.
find him
Yeah.
exactly what you want in
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
But of
cool.
course, being in Austria right now, or let me say being in Europe right now,
Yeah.
there's more white men than there is
Exactly,
black men.
exactly.
You know, and
Yeah,
even the kind of black men that we have, most of them they prefer the white women.
Okay.
You know, so it's not a fight. It's not a problem. Like
Sure.
to each his own. You do whichever one you want to have. You know, for me, it's never. I don't fight this race war when it comes to relationships.
Okay.
But yes, of course, I do see that whole thing of it's a sad part.
Okay.
What I'm about to say, it's very, very sad.
No, no,
I find it very, very sad.
We want everything, you know, we like to hear
How
everything.
There's this perception that
Yeah.
our black men
Yeah.
feel like they have made money.
Yeah.
They feel like being seen with a white woman
Yeah.
means class or
Yeah,
being better.
exactly.
And
Okay.
the same goes to our black sisters.
That's true,
That
okay,
they're looking
sure,
for a white man,
sure.
so the white man's gonna give them a good life. Maybe it's true. Maybe they really give them a good life. And actually, a lot of them do get a good life. Let's not even lie.
Okay.
You know, looking at where most of us come from. Most of us come from nothing. I don't
Exactly.
come from money myself. Most of us do come from nothing, and
Exactly.
you meet like this very wealthy man that's like so smitten by this beautiful chocolate skin woman, whatever, short, tall, skinny, big butt, small butt, big
Yeah,
booty,
yeah.
whatever the case is. And some
Yes.
women really do get lucky
Yeah, sure,
and get
sure.
with good men.
Some
so I have
do.
no negativity around it.
I love that. I love that. That's a very perfect answer. And no, you're not talking too much, baby. You really, I mean, what you're saying now, a lot of girls out there, a lot of ladies, they are listening, they will listen to what you say,
Yeah.
and it's gonna help them somehow because most will take advice from the, you don't know that right now you kind of telling people about their own life. So, and they are learning a lot from you right now. So, it's very good that you're giving us your opinion, and we appreciate that. So, let's move on, my sister. If you would like to, if you're not here in Austria, which other country in Europe would you like to live in?
Before coming to Austria,
Yeah.
I used to live in the UAE.
In the UAE, okay.
Yeah, so now
Oh,
you
wow.
can imagine the fast life, not first.
Yeah.
Fast.
The fast life,
the
yeah.
fast life
You've
and
been
the
through.
glitz and the glamour and all of that. And having to do that for a very long time, I reached a point where I was like really just tired of it.
Okay.
And I wanted a very quiet and stable country.
Oh, that's super, yeah,
and
really?
Austria has that.
Okay.
But if it wasn't Austria, it would have been Switzerland, Zurich.
Switzerland, okay. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Just want quiet and quality.
You want a quiet quality life.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
I like that. So please, let's dive in a little bit about your life, your time in UAE. How was it then? In UAE, when you lived there, how do you see life there?
It was so much fun.
So much fun.
Like, so much fun.
Okay.
But it's like life over there. I'll give you an example of, imagine being tickled.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you laugh.
Yeah. Okay.
And then at least point we just tired, like, I'm tired now.
Okay.
I don't want to laugh anymore.
All right.
That's how it feels.
Okay, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you had so much fun. But don't get me wrong.
No, I'm not getting you wrong.
When somebody is tickling you,
Yeah.
there's some discomforts, right?
Sure.
So the same thing over there, the fun is what you get, but there's a little,
Yeah.
downside to it.
Okay.
And with young people who go there, me myself, I'm a perfect example myself.
You're still young, yeah.
When well,
Pretty young, yeah.
I'm not that young, but
Okay. Yeah, really. Yeah.
When-
From what I'm seeing, I'm, depending on what I see.
Thank you.
Okay.
But when I went there, I was also quite naive. You make a lot of mistakes, and it's okay. It's normal. Don't beat yourself up over what you've done that you're not proud of. It's
Okay.
normal.
Sure.
Life goes on. The only thing you gotta do every day is be a better person than
Sure.
you were yesterday.
Sure.
And identify the mistakes and try and do better.
That's nice. That's nice.
But it was great. Whoever wants to go there, they can go there.
Okay.
It's very important to focus on what's the word? What's the proper phrase? Focus on the goal.
On your goal, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. What you really want to achieve, you focus on it.
Yeah, because it's easy
To get distracted?
Yeah, there's so much distraction.
Okay.
And sometimes you do need that little distraction because it's not the worst thing that can ever happen to be distracted. Why? So long as you learn out of it.
Okay.
And next time you know that, you know what, I made this mistake before. I don't want to do this. It's like, I'm one of those people that are easily influenced by friends.
Super,
Like
that's
I'm
nice.
easily influenced by friends, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
But right now where I'm standing, I don't know, there's this on YouTube, I
Yeah.
listen to some account.
Okay.
It is about the
Machiavelli, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I
sure.
like that.
Really?
So I am on my Machiavelli theory era.
That's good.
I do what sits well with me.
Yeah,
and
that is
that's just
absolutely
it.
good,
Like,
yeah.
it don't matter how much I like you and love you and how close we are. At the end of the day, if something doesn't sit well or right
sure.
with me,
Yes.
it's just not gonna happen. I
That's-
don't do what I do not want to do. If I offend you, sorry, you're gonna be alright. We are still friends. It's okay.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do this one.
Sure, because you come first.
Yeah.
Not him or
Exactly.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, so friends no longer influence me anymore. A friend of mine will not give me advice
Yeah.
that I mean, let me really say, I'm not gonna take advice that I know that will not.
No,
help
they
me.
could give you advice,
Yeah.
but it's
I
left for
can
you now
pick.
to take.
Yeah,
Yeah, is it
I
okay
can
for me or
pick
not?
if I
Okay.
want
Exactly.
it or not.
Sure.
Another part is if that there's a certain thing like, let's say for example, I'm just gonna make a out of a not even a normal example, but I will make it anyway.
Yeah.
Like let's say I win a lottery,
Okay,
and
sure.
then a best friend comes and goes, yeah, friend, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that with the money.
Yeah. Okay.
Guess what? My response to that, my initial reaction to that, to
Yeah.
that advice,
Yes.
don't budget for me. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
can take
don't
care of
budget.
myself.
Exactly. It's
Sure.
all up to me on how I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
Though I'm not saying I am perfect. I'm not saying I know it all.
Yeah.
I do know that there should always be room to hearing the next person's perspective.
Sure,
But
sure.
I'm just trying to say how I want things done for
Sure.
myself. It's
Exactly.
just how it's gonna go.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
it.
and that is how life should be.
Yeah.
Because you confessing your life before the other person.
That's true.
Exactly.
We
So,
also-
yeah,
okay, yeah.
please go on.
We also, unfortunately, this is very, very
Yeah,
sad.
say it up. Let them hear it.
Something that I've recently realized. I don't know if this is
Yeah, come on, say
maybe
it.
it's too much talk.
No,
but
no,
something that
no.
I've recently realized about
Yeah.
us as Africans and not coming from generational world.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we are taught, oh, be kind, be polite, be respectful. And it's like, guess what?
Yes.
That's not how the world they think.
And when they don't
That's
say that in us,
Yeah. Because
Then-
that whole thing of being kindness and being sweet and what, you know what that is? It's invitation for disrespect.
that's it. That's it.
That's invitation for disrespect.
Sure.
And it is very important that as much as I respect you, I will forever, ever mark my boundaries. That if
That's-
ends here, we are friends, but my dear,
That's nice.
yeah. But not
That's
in a rude way.
Sure.
Never ever be rude.
Sure.
But just don't cross the line. That's it. Not in a really zero disrespect.
That is very, very, very,
But
very
just
cool.
people around you should know
Your
how far to
boundaries.
go with you.
Exactly.
And it's not something that most of us are born with. I'm not born with it.
That is
I
true.
have learned through life experience whereby I met people,
Sure.
you know, derail me from whatever it is
Well,
I was trying to do.
sure,
And
okay.
maybe they didn't mean it, but because maybe my weaknesses.
And you learned through that.
Yeah, maybe my weaknesses as well allowed all of that to happen. So,
Okay. And in here, black brothers and sisters, how do you relate to them here in Vienna or in Austria? In Vienna, where we do you relate to our brothers and sisters very well here, or?
it's always nice
Okay.
meeting people that you can relate to. Like right now, the conversation we're having, I don't think I would be as open if I was having it with somebody that is African and black. You know, but when it comes to having a lot of friends, it's not even a black or white thing.
Yeah.
In general, I'm not somebody who keeps a lot of friends.
Okay.
But yeah, the only friend I have in Vienna is black.
Okay, that's cool. That's wonderful. And then,
Last week, we were craving some African vibe and we went to dance to an
wow,
African.
club?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I mean, that is nice, because.
And today I wanted African food. I gave it to an African. So you see.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, the
really.
Africanicity will never die.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because we gotta keep communicating and
Yeah.
so one another knowing each other that we
Yeah.
keep growing here.
But
as a
let's not
community.
lie, we are quite dramatic.
Of course we are.
We are also very, what's the word, toxic?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sure.
And-
That's yeah, you're right, but it depends on when you come across this kind of person or people that you find how you're gonna relate to them or how you're gonna deal with them. Because when you see someone that is toxic, you don't say, okay, maybe I will change him or her.
The thing is, by the time you realize the person's toxic, the damage is too big.
Really?
And then you go like, how did
Oh
I
my
even
God.
find myself here? What was I even thinking,
Okay.
So I think it's okay, you know, be respectful to others, talk to everybody. But
Yeah.
it's for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about other people. I'm not somebody that's too open
Okay.
in general. But all is nice.
All right. That's fine. And you know, there are a lot of ladies, you know, down there in Africa. They wanna come to Europe, you know, and they are willing to give up everything, anything. So they want to come here, and they are willing to give up or give in anything they have, maybe sell their houses or their cars or their properties, you know, just to raise money to come to Europe, thinking that they're gonna make it here, you know. I mean, life is easier here or whatever. So, and some of them do come, they make it. Some come and they don't. So, what would you advise, like those ladies out there who are listening now, who want to come or who are thinking of coming to Europe?
I think, guys, like, let's be real with each other. Just as you said also that some people come and make it and some don't.
Sure.
But realistically speaking, most don't.
That is true.
You know,
That is true.
most.
So it doesn't worth it giving up things, you mean?
I don't think it's worth giving up your home,
Okay.
selling your first land, getting rid of your inheritance because you want to get to Europe. I don't think it's worth all of that hassle because there's so much importance in always having something to fall back on. You know, because leaving home,
Yeah.
Africa, now I can imagine I'm selling my house that I've worked really, really hard for to get
Exactly.
and say I'm coming to Europe. First and foremost, let's start with the fact that our education system and the European education system is not on the same
Quite
level.
different, yeah, exactly.
By the time you come here, no matter what you call qualification you have,
Yeah, sure.
it still has to be rated here. You still need to be tested on European standard.
Sure.
And with the color of your skin, most likely you won't even get anywhere unless you have really, really good connections to get you somewhere or even to start a business or whatever, and then you can leave. Of which 90% of us Africans do not have that when we come here. So no matter how highly educated you are, it is always really, really difficult. I'm not trying to be negative when it comes to that.
That's fine.
It's always really, really difficult. You find there's people here that are highly educated.
Exactly, yeah, sure.
They're doing the lowest type of jobs. Why? Because companies are not looking for you or for ads. Let me put it that way. Me myself, I would like to have like a proper 9 to 5 and do like my nice digital marketing. But I know that it's not going to be that easy.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So maybe I've kind of gone off topic.
No.
Have I? Okay.
It's not.
Yeah, so I think it's very important. I don't know how to say it because most people really, really come here and they start living even a lower quality life than they had at home.
At home, sure.
Or what they could have, what the life that they could have had if they stayed at home.
Yeah.
You know, because another thing, here in Europe, you come here, you get a job. How much are they even paying you? You know, whatever job that you are getting, they'll give you as an African person, they'll probably give you like the lowest paying type of job.
Yeah.
And now comes
And when you
the
also
European
cannot speak the
bills.
language.
Exactly, like
Sure.
me right now.
Yeah.
And then here comes European bills, which are not our African bills.
Sure.
Crazy bills. That little money
Which
that
keep
you
coming
brought,
all the time, bills upon
Exactly.
bills upon bills. You
Absolutely.
know, you open your post box.
there's
you
something
just
there,
see
they're asking for
exactly.
money.
Sure.
That money that you worked so hard for, you will keep on paying it to the system
Yeah.
to just keep you here. And then now you end up having to ask yourself, why am I even here? Because most people, with me included, we come here with hopes that we can make money here and send home, start businesses, buy houses, do whatever the case is, you know?
Yeah, sure.
And some people actually do get it through,
Yeah.
with women, husbands, if they meet a wealthy person, blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
A lot of women have made it in life like
Exactly,
this,
sure.
you know?
Yeah, it's
But
true.
it's not everybody. I've been here 6 months, I'm single as a cat.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So you never know. I don't even know what's the right advice to give people because we all come from different walks of life.
Background, exactly.
British,
Moment, please. comment. Just yeah. Go on.
We all come from different walks of life, and what works for me might not work for the next person.
Exactly.
What works for the next person might not work for me. But I think it's very important to scale your reality. You know, there's some people who feel like they don't understand why people use the whole, what do you call that whole thing in the ocean, the boats?
People, yeah.
That's scary and crazy, in my opinion.
Sure.
But for those people who do it, they have a valid reason why they're doing it. You know, when you listen to their stories, you go like, wow, I can't even relate. I'm like, what? You know, so I think I'm not going to open my mouth too much when it comes to giving people advice on how to get here, because not only one way is right. There's a lot of different ways on how to get it. Everybody sees the one that they can do, whatever it is that fits their reality, and they go for it. But I think it's important to also let people know, or not to sell people dreams.
Sure.
That, oh, you're gonna come here and it's gonna be roses. No, darling, there's racism, there's just also the hardships of being here, there's the hardship of cracking into their system with the documents and remaining illegal. Because once you're not legal, woe unto you, more troubles come your way. It's a long thing, you know? And some people think they're gonna come here and everything will be okay, but unfortunately there's like a whole lot of things, steps that you still have to take.
That's wonderful. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, your take on this is very, very, very attractive. I mean, every maybe out there with one or two things from your, what you just said now, and it's gonna be helpful to them. I believe. So let me get your final thought. Have you tasted the Austrian cuisine, the snail, the Austrian food? How do you find it? Or you only stick to African food? Like you came here today to buy African food?
I eat weird food all the time when it comes to food. I
You eat all kind of food?
I eat all kinds of food.
But how do you find the Austrian
I like
ones?
nice food. But in general, when it comes to the African food, I will not lie to you. The only thing I've ever had was the schnitzel, because that's the only thing I think I can stomach.
Okay.
And I'm not saying all the other foods don't taste good, because I've never tasted them.
All right.
They just don't look interesting. That's why I've never tried them. But I'm sure with me staying here longer, I will eventually try them.
That's nice. That's nice.